first one is about deleting the data, they start the data, and then a further question, do the Russians have the data sets? But do the data and the algorithms, you could lose the data and keep the algorithms, couldn't you? I mean, you can make a model, you can wash out the data, but you still base the model on 50 million Facebook.
You need data. An algorithm works on data, so you need data in order for an algorithm to spit out imputations or derivatives or whatever. I think what you mean is if you alter the data in some way, whether it's through a dimensionality reduction or some kind of imputed derivative, you can keep that, and you don't necessarily need the raw data.
Because like Carol, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Could you not make a sort of machine learning bot, an algorithm, out of one set of data, 50 million Facebooks, and then it start running, and then you get rid of that data, you can bury that data and try out new data, which you bought legitimately?
Theoretically you could do that. I think it's important to understand that an algorithm is, if you think about it kind of like a set of rules, almost. Not all people are, tech bros are going to attack me because not all algorithms are rule-based, but like it's easy to think about like the most simple thing, like a decision tree, if this then that, right? You still need the answer to the if this, you still need that. So but you can merge, you can manipulate, you can alter, you can amalgamate data in all kinds of ways so that that data doesn't necessarily look like the original form of the data.
So that's my question, almost forensic. Even if you could find the algorithms, even if they've hidden the data, you could work out from the algorithm itself the original data it worked on, and then you could work out if they had built it out of that sort of data.
So a data set is sort of, think about it this way. I can say something in English and I can say something in French, and they look fundamental. Or let's make it even more different. Like I can say something in English and say something in Chinese, or write it in English and write it in Chinese, and the information contained is the same, but the execution of that information looks very different, and it follows different rules and orders and all of that, but it still conveys the same information. So that's what I mean in terms of.
Does that relate to the Russian thing? Do you think that the Russians had, or at least Kogan gave over to the IRA, was very effective, the Internet Research Agency in St. Petersburg was a very effective targeting, that they could be working off that same or similar data sets?
Well, what I do, I mean, obviously I wasn't inside Russia, so I can't say whether or not they have the Cambridge Analytica data sets. But what I do know is that we made it pretty damn clear to a lot of people in Russia that we had this giant data set, and that it was all sort of prepackaged with predictions about what's going to influence people and their political orientation, and that can like plug right into like online display networks and advertising networks, and that data was being modeled by somebody who was also working in Russia on Russian projects that were very similar, and actually talking about some of the projects that we were working on whilst he was in Russia, as we're interfacing with a company that has connections with the FSB, very well-known connections with the FSB. And when you look at the security that, at least at the time when I was there, the security of that data was subpar. I mean, people would just email around data sets. Like it was pretty bad.
That's